Hi, good morning. How are you? So I have been doing these marketing research interviews, and I decided just to jump on and let's do a quick tapping round on something that keeps coming up. So I feel like I should do a whole thing on explain more on tapping. I just had a conversation with somebody about it, and so that will be the topic for a different day. But what I am finding, I'm seeing some patterns in these interviews that I've been doing. So I've been talking to all women that are very smart, intuitive, empathic, kind, powerful women that really have not stepped into their power, women that are wanting to share their gifts with the world. Some of you are unsure exactly what that means, how to do that, what you're supposed to be doing. You're still discovering some of these gifts. Others of you know very clearly what the gifts are and have somewhat of a clear, at least, outline of what you want to be doing, but you have a million excuses for why you're not doing it. So that's okay. I just want to say that first of all, because you're not alone, and this is really common. So what I am seeing over and over with women that I work with, and this is what keeps coming up in these interviews, are that you were the black sheep of the family. Oftentimes the family shut you down and thought, and probably still thinks, that all of this stuff is just weird. And I can just say that, like, my family doesn't understand any of this, so I can relate to this 100%. Okay? And on one hand, you know that I shouldn't care what other people think. I shouldn't care what my family thinks. But I'll be honest, there are times where I find myself holding back from saying certain things because I think that people are going to think it's weird. Okay? And so I will just tell you, I'll just sort of state this semi-publicly right now because this keeps coming up for me. Ever since I was a kid, and maybe I'll do another video on this later, but I remember being young, like 8-ish, maybe 9 or 10, and thinking that I had been killed as a witch in a past life, okay? And I always hesitate to tell that story because I think that people are gonna think it's weird. And every time I actually tell the story to somebody that I'm talking to, they tell me some story about, oh yeah, I was killed as a witch, I was burned, or this or that. So I want you guys to come out more publicly and start being more visible. So I, of course, am going to have to do the same thing. So for the time being, that's my little confession, okay? And let's just do a quick tapping round about this fear of being seen, fear of speaking up, fear of putting yourself out there. And what I want you to do right now, I don't think you can see it. Can you see this candle back here? I can smell it. I got this new candle. I set a candle. I set it here. I lit it before. I just had a meeting with somebody, and I can smell it. It's wonderful. I set the intention just to have like beautiful energy, have a beautiful connection. And so that is still going strong right now. So let's just take a deep breath. I know I'm talking kind of fast. That is my nature. Let's just take a deep breath in and let it out and become aware of your body. Just notice, sit back for a second, feel yourself being supported by the chair, the couch, whatever you're on. Feel your feet on the ground. Take a couple breaths in and let them out. And I want you just for a moment to keep your eyes closed, and I want you to think about your special soul gifts. What are you supposed to be doing? A lot of you are healers. I'm supposed to be sharing this with the world. I'm supposed to be connecting with more of you individually, and I know that I'm supposed to be running some group programs, okay? And I'll be honest, I've been holding back for the same reasons that you guys do. So let's jump into this together, feet first, okay? What are your soul gifts? What are you supposed to be sharing with the world? What are your healing gifts? What are the things that get you very excited when you share them, and also kind of probably scare the bejesus out of you a little bit, because there are two sides of that coin, okay? Tune into that. And what are the feelings that are coming up? Anxiety, fear, maybe some shame, frustration, a feeling of like, ooh, I can't do that. What are the thoughts that are going through your mind? I can't do that. I'm not qualified. Nobody would pay me to do this, right? Those are the things that really come up strongly for people. So if you have a second, take a second and jot those things down, and I want you to tune into them individually, so you can pause this if need be. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least, 10 being the most, how strongly are you feeling each of those feelings? And rate them. Take a moment, even if it's mentally, but ideally write them down. How strong are those thoughts, okay? And let's just jump in. You can just follow me if you're new to tapping. Repeat after me. If anything is really triggering, I want you to stay there. I want you to come back and do it again. If anything feels like it doesn't really trigger you, that's okay, but something else is, I want you to use those words, okay? If you have a different thought, feeling, just jump right in. This is very flexible. It doesn't matter. You can say whatever words you want and repeat, because different things will come up as we start to essentially peel the layers of the onion. So just taking a deep breath in. You can get up and move around if you want. I'm going to stay right here so you can see me. We're going to just start tapping. You can use 1 or 2 fingers. You can use all of them. It doesn't matter. You can do one side, both sides. If you're in a public place, you can just tap on a fingertip. You can tap the side of your hand. It's very flexible, okay? This is not black or white. It doesn't have to be done exactly this way. So taking a deep breath in. And we're going to start with the side of the hand. Even though I'm afraid to be seen, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm afraid to get started, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm terrified to share these gifts with the world, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Okay, and we're going to start tapping on the points. I know that I have a lot to share with the world. I know that the things that make me feel different are the things that I'm meant to share. And yet I'm terrified to really put myself out there. And I know exactly why. You can keep your eyes open or closed. Going back to when I was a kid, my family thought I was so weird. They didn't understand me, and they still don't. And I know that's holding me back. And I want to let it go. But I don't know how. How do I let these feelings of being inferior go? How do I let this self-doubt go? I just think about putting myself out there. And I want you to fill in the blank here. Opening up my Reiki practice, making these videos, getting paid for whatever it is that I love to do. Fill in the blank. Every time I think about that, I just want a hole to open in the earth. I don't want to do it. It scares me. It scares the living shit out of me. And so I make excuses. I can't do it because, and I want you to fill in the blank. I have a bunch of kids to take care of right now. They're little. I have pets. I don't really need the money. Whatever that is, fill in the blank. I make these excuses, and so I don't really have to do this. But deep down, I know it's only an excuse. And these doubts are really what's holding me back. Every time I think about it, these doubts creep in. I hear these voices. This is ridiculous. What are you talking about? That's stupid. Nobody wants to hear that. Everyone's gonna laugh at you. It's the voices that I heard in early childhood. But I want to do it. I want to let this shit go. And if I could snap my fingers and make these voices go away, everything would be so much easier. I could drop the self-doubt. I could do what I want. It would feel so good. It would feel so good to share my gifts with the world, to let these fears and doubts go, to silence these negative voices once and for all. And so right here, right now, for just a moment, I'm open to letting it go, even if I don't know how. Just for a moment, right now, I'm silencing those voices, and I'm feeling the silence. I'm setting the intention. Ooh, and that feels good. It feels so freeing. It feels amazing. I'd love to have more of this feeling in my life. And I'm not sure if I'm ready to do this all the time because I'm so used to things as they are. And that brings up a lot for me. But I'm open to feeling this free this percentage of the time, and I want you to fill in the blank. 1%, 2%, 10%, 95%, what? I'm open to being free this percentage of the time. Because when I can silence these thoughts, wow, I feel like a whole different person. I feel powerful. I feel amazing. I feel wonderful. I feel how good it feels if I were to share all of this with the world. So I'm letting that in right now, just for a moment, just for a few minutes. And I know that every time I come back and do this exercise, I know that it will last longer and longer. And it will help me get used to this feeling of freedom, to a new way of being, a new present, both present in time and a present. And I'm accepting that into my world right now. And I want you to take a deep breath. Close your eyes for a moment and notice what you're feeling. And I want you to notice, I get a little bit dizzy when I do these sometimes. It's like that's a feeling of release. It's a sign of that I just released a bunch of stuff because I heal too, along with you guys when I do this stuff. So tune into those feelings that you wrote down: anxiety, fear, anger, frustration. And where are those feelings right now on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being the least, 10 being the most. Notice those repetitive thoughts. Nobody would pay me for this. I can't do this. Can I do this? I don't think so. How strong do those feelings feel now on that scale of 1 to 10? And I want you to leave me a comment. I want you to send me a message. You can find me at www.openhearthypnosis.com. You can send me a message to the website. You can send me an email. You can leave me a comment. What changed for you in this short time? And I want you to come back and I want you to do this and ideally keep notes and notice over the course. Commit to doing this for 1 week. What starts to shift for you? And I want to hear from you. Let me know what is changing. Let's do this together because you are not alone. You are supported. I'm here to support you. There's this whole community of people that are feeling exactly what you're feeling. So let's do this together. And I hope you're just going to have an amazing day right now. I hope you feel great, and I can't wait to hear from you. Okay, I'll see you soon. Bye.